Hello, guys. This is group number 3, and today we're going to be looking at South Africa's Child Support Grant. So, to understand the Child Support Grant, let's go over the last 100 years of South African history, or a basic coverage of it. So, democracy came to South Africa in 1992 under the leadership of Nelson Mandela and the anti apartheid movement. Now, Nelson Mandela, we all know the Nelson Mandela story. I hope we all watched the Idris Elba movie, but the Nelson Mandela story is incredible. He led this anti apartheid and pro democracy movement, brought it to South Africa, ended the racial segregation of the apartheid government, and that was just amazing. And that happened in 1992. To also look at the child support grant, we have to look at the legacy of British colonialization. England had an empire that spanned the globe, and it also was the early pioneer of social welfare programs. And because of that empire, those social welfare programs that started to get implemented pre World War II by the Winston Churchill government, it trickled down around to the Commonwealth. This trickled down to Canada, this trickled down to Australia, and it clearly trickled down to South Africa. Since South Africa had that legacy of social welfare programs, it was easier to introduce the child support grants. And then again, we have to look at the legacy of apartheid, and this is very important when looking at the story of South Africa because the apartheid government was segregating South Africa on racial lines. This is pretty much pre-civil rights America type of system. Health system were segregated on racial lines. White South Africans had better access to healthcare and healthcare than black South Africans. They just had white South Africans had better care, better systems than black South Africans, and the childhood support grant really supports this and helps alleviate childhood poverty. And the quality of children's lives were pretty much because of the apartheid government. 1 in 4 children died of diarrhea and respiratory illnesses, and 1/5 of them were underweight. And this is one of the reasons and ways we could directly alleviate childhood poverty and just overall improve the health of children in South Africa. And this is such an incredible program.
In 1994, Nelson Mandela's new government set out to rebuild a nation that has been torn apart. The new government wanted to address the widespread poverty and the unfair distribution of social services. One of the most important reforms for the government was the child welfare system. In 1997, the committee proposed that all children under the age of 7 receive US $15 every month. The South African Parliament approved the committee's recommendation and increased the grant's value to US $21, but it came with conditions. The conditions included participation in development programs and had to have proof of immunization status. In 1998, the first year the child support grant went into effect, the grant only reached 22,000 children. The grant only reached 22,000 children because most were ineligible, and the grant was only available to those who were in poverty. In 2012, the government increased the transfer size from US 22 to US 34, which had a strong incentive for South Africans to enroll. By 2012, there were roughly 11 children enrolled, which was equivalent to 75% of eligible South African children.
South Africa's child support grant has made a huge impact among its constituents. In order to understand why this impact is so significant, we need to talk about the widespread issue of poverty seen throughout South Africa. For many people, it's near impossible to make ends meet. And then to add a child on top of that, there has been an increase on the amount of children being abandoned due to families not being able to take care of them. A rise in these grants have decreased the number of children being abandoned because now there is a sense of security of having this income to meet the child's needs. This program has also improved many children's health and welfare, such as nutritional benefits being enhanced, kids are staying in school, less children are having to work, and having this source of income helps balance out that loss for not having the child work. And overall, families are no longer having to choose between their health and whether or not they can pay the bills. This is protecting them from that economic shock. and decreasing poverty rates.
In 2010 and 2011, a total of $4.2 billion was spent on the Child Support Grant. Like all of South Africa's social grants, the Child Support Grant was funded completely through taxation. About 3.5% of South Africa's GDP went to the total public expenditure on social assistance. The income of the Child Support Grant continues to remain constant despite its increasing coverage due to South Africa's economic growth and its expanding tax base. The Child Support Grant has been successful for several reasons. For one, equality has increased due to the human development benefits the grant provides and how it has helped to decrease structural inequality. Birth certificates have also become more accessible to new parents because of the grant, which helps to facilitate the enrollment process. In addition to this, the Social Security Administration has put online and telephone systems in place that provide advice and information, which helps to increase efficiency and reduce fraud. Not to mention, accountability can be promoted as information on the Child Support Grant can also be publicly accessed by anyone who has internet.
The Child Support Grant has been set in motion in order to help South Africa progress towards a more safer, healthier, and just place for everyone to be. They are providing cash transfers, which is payments made out to families, in order to take care of financial struggles. These cash transfers have been proven to be a very valuable tool to help children overcome the constraints that were passed on to them through their parental disadvantages. Children being able to continue their education has allowed them a chance to secure a more financially stable future, not only to help improve their health physically but also mentally. These cash transfers are improving health. People having the money to take care of themselves goes a long way. And not only that, once a child is aged out of this program, they have help to navigate life after it, how to continue this new cycle of a better life. The goal is to make sure that any child that is eligible for this grant receives it in order to help improve their life for the future.